Welcome to Commanders Daily, everybody. It's your one-stop shop for everything going on with the Burgundy and Gold. I'm Bob Matthews. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss a day of our coverage. All right, Commanders off today. Players' day off as it normally is on Tuesday. We did get a little bit more information from Dan Quinn yesterday vis-a-vis the most watched knee injury in the NFL right now, and that's Jayden Daniels. Now, as you might expect, Quinn didn't say a lot about what kind of an injury it is. We are speculating, and if you read in between the tea leaves, since they say it is not considered serious, we're thinking that it's probably a PCL strain. Or sprain. That's the most likely scenario. What Quinn said yesterday is that Jayden is day-to-day. All right, so again, you read the tea leaves and you say, well, that's about as good as we could hope for. That was a hip drop tackle. I am convinced of it. You can't convince me otherwise, which, of course, is illegal. It's against the rules, and it should have been a penalty, and it wasn't. But getting back to the injury, the fact that Quinn says that he's day-to-day, that he is already into what they like to call the return-to-play protocol. Now, that doesn't mean that he's going to play this week, and I don't think he should, but it means that, there's no surgery we're talking about here. He's not expected to miss multiple weeks at this point, and if he had to play, or if he does play, he'll probably do it with a brace. Probably a lot of you guys out there feel a lot like me. Again, and by the way, if you do, well, whether you do or not, go ahead and leave us a comment on it. Should Jayden play this weekend or not? I am of the opinion he should not. You've got the Raiders coming in here who, as I've said before, I know Pete Carroll is their coach, and they got Max Crosby out there. Now they've got Geno Smith at quarterback, so they're a little feisty this year. The Commanders, I feel, just have a better roster. I think that Marcus Mariota, who himself is pretty mobile, I think could do a fine job back there and easily win this game this weekend. Again, the Raiders are an inferior team. They are playing on Monday night. They are playing the late game on Monday night. And they've got to come all the way across the country. Let Jayden rest this week. Jayden Daniels is your whole season, beginning, middle, and end. He misses a lot of time, you're done. The season is basically done. And I know with an injury like this, what we're all thinking, and that's 2012, 2013, you do not want to get into a situation where Jayden hurts his knee worse than it already is. Give him the week to rest. It's not a division game. It's not even a conference game. So if, God forbid, you got to drop one at home, this is one of the ones that, you wouldn't mind. Let him get better so that hopefully he can play either the following week in Atlanta or for sure out in L.A. against the Chargers, a team that's, a legitimate playoff team. So, again, that's the latest we got on Jayden. We will know more on Wednesday. Does he practice on Wednesday? I'm guessing that he's not going to practice Wednesday. In fact, I don't think he's going to practice all week, and I don't think he is going to play on Sunday. But I have been proven wrong many, many times before. I think it would be prudent for him not to play. We'll just have to wait and see. But regardless, we will get you an update coming up on Wednesday. Got a chance to look at a little bit more of the All-22 film. There are things in there I think that you can look at and say not quite as bad as maybe we originally thought. The eye test, when you look at it at full speed, is one thing. Going back, though, and looking at the coach's film, I did notice a few things. Number one, the offensive line has got to play a lot better. Tyler Biadasz had a couple of really bad misses when it came to pass blocking. Another thing I noticed is that, boy, Micah Parsons is something else. One of Parsons' pressures, he was literally chipped by Ben Sinnott and double-teamed on that side by Josh Connerly and Nick Allegretti, and he still got to Jayden Daniels. So pass blocking-wise, they got to clean that up. Now, and, they're not going to get a huge break here with Max Crosby this week, which is yet another reason why I think Jayden shouldn't play this week. Uh, for those of you worried about Terry McLaurin and the holdout and everything, I actually saw him run some really good routes where Jayden just didn't see him, but he got open quite a few times. And I think that, just as the season goes on and they get sharper here in the next few weeks, I think Terry might be due for a breakout here this week. Meanwhile, on defense, I don't think it was, what we said yesterday, I think still held up after looking at the coach's tape. Trey Amos just played really, really well. I was really, really impressed by him. And even though Frankie Louvu has been kind of quiet these first 2 weeks, I haven't seen anything to suggest that, he's not holding his gap responsibility well. And Bobby Wagner has not lost a step. He just absolutely, positively has not lost a step, still playing at an all-pro level. So I say keep rocking with him. Not that they wouldn't think about not in the middle, but I don't think you have to worry about that either. All right, let's go ahead and hit the mailbag here. As always, we thank you so much for all of your comments. And again, question of the day today, if you're Dan Quinn, do you start Jayden Daniels this week, this Sunday or not? He's going to say he's ready to go. Is it more prudent to give him an extra week of rest? Let's see. Shout out to @Mac the Moore, 830. So many older guys in key spots. The quick turnaround made a negative impact. Can't argue with you on that, Matt. I think you're absolutely right. He also says, out-coach, Cliff has to develop and utilize more two tight end, physically imposing run plays without the deep threats to stress the DBs. The defense hugs the line in RPOs. To counter that, you got to smack the defense in the mouth in 4 to 6 yard chunks to set up 17. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. They were. Green Bay's defensive backs were just sitting on those short routes. You saw them jump it a bunch of times. And yeah, you're right. They've got to do something to break that up. And you're right. I think about the two tight end sets as well. While we're not there in the meeting room, we don't know what else is going on. I agree with you. Ben Sinnott can either play or he can't. So go and do those. Put those two tight end sets in there, and get it going. At Donald Lewis, 1728, and Donald, a regular contributor. The loss to Green Bay, not as bad as some has projected it to be. Packers are an outstanding team right now. As the season moves on, Washington will improve dramatically and still be a legitimate playoff team. From your mouth to God's ear, Donald. But I do agree with you that Green Bay is just playing at a really, really high level right now. And like I said yesterday, sometimes you've just got to go, watch the tape, take the notes, and then flush the whole performance because it's just one of those things. And let's hope it's just one of those things and Jayden's knee doesn't turn into another thing. It's going to do it for us. Again, don't forget, like and subscribe. Let us know what you thought. Let us know your comments on whether you think Jayden ought to play or not. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, like the wise man once said, if you're out on your bike tonight, as always, do wear white.